Hey, good day, good day, good day. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. How are you? It's Lifestyle Focus Friday. Hey, congratulations. Today, you're here with me. This is when the lights go out. Are you ready? And today's episode, we're going to be talking about consistency and how consistency is the currency of your future legacy. We're going to have some talking points on that. And I think you're going to want to stick around to the end as I break down why consistency is the hidden currency of your legacy and how it impacts your content, your sales, your relationships, and your personal brand. And I'm going to give you at the end of the conversation a 30-day challenge to hold you accountable to becoming your best self. All that and much more on When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? It's Lifestyle Focus Friday. I can't wait to see you on the inside. Hey everyone, I'm Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. Thank you for joining us. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? Man, I tell you, it's been a long week and I'm glad to have you back. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about consistency. And it's not about being perfect or it's about being what we call perfection. It's about showing up with intention. And every single day, I mean every single day, intentionally showing up to do your best work. In this episode today, we're going to be talking about that. And I want to break it down a little bit more of how I believe that consistency is the hidden jewel for your future legacy and how it impacts your content, your sales, your relationships, and your personal brand. I'm telling you, this is a conversation for all you entrepreneurs, you creators, or you leaders out there. This conversation can change the way you think or rethink your business and how you show up daily. And I'm going to try to give you some framework so you can take it home and start this transformation immediately. If that's all right with you, then if you think it's time for a change, then you're going to sign up and be a part of our 30-day challenge. And that 30-day challenge is doing nothing more than holding you accountable. And at the end of this podcast, we're also going to give you a consistency checklist so you can follow, something that you can give yourself a guideline so you don't quit. This is the opportunity for you to hold yourself accountable for rebranding your personal brand and then elevating your influence. And that's what today's episode is all about. Man, I tell you, we got so many calls last week. As I was in motion, I want to say thank you to everybody that participated, and I got most of your emails and most of your text messages, and we even had more followers. So I will say this to say, this week, do me a favor. Continue to build the community. For those of you, I know that 68% of the people watching haven't subscribed yet. I'm going to ask you to do so. By you subscribing, you're helping to provide financial literacy in its best form. And on top of it, you're helping us grow. And we must follow the law of reciprocity. In order for us to want to be better, we must first want someone else to be better. That's how it works. And because of you, we're being able to affect more people faster, saving them time, money, and allowing them to live their best life. So thank you in advance for hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button, and sharing it with your family and your friends, because we want you to be a part of the conversation. All I ask you to do is when you make comments today, put in the comments takeaways. If you can put the words takeaways in the comments, then that makes it easier for us if we want to read something about what you're talking about online or on air. I can get to it pretty quickly and respond. That's probably what you would like me to do anyway, right? So if you would just make sure that we do that, a little housekeeping before we get started. And for those of you that I know I have to tell, if you're new to the show, welcome. And if you're coming back to join us, thank you again for joining us. And it's always a pleasure to have you on Friday. So let's talk about this discussion point for today. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. The opening conversation I want to have with you is why consistency is more valuable than talent or luck. Have you ever been around someone when they just say, hey, man, hey, John just got a new cell, and it was a multi-million-dollar cell. He's so lucky. He's always lucky. What's the difference between showing up and showing off? What's the difference? Was John really just talented, or was he lucky? Or was he just better at showing up when others may think he was showing off? You know, that's one of those topics that I have to tell you from the very top. Depending on who you are in life, you've probably heard that about athletes. You've heard it about entertainers. I've heard it all over the place. What it is the person that's most prepared, the most practiced, usually is the most confident. And the most confident one knows their ability. They know what they're getting into, and they know what they're capable of. Not everybody is in that gym at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Not everybody's running that extra mile. Not everybody's studying that extra course. Not everybody is prepping their sales presentation. Not everybody is shooting content daily. So you got to stop and think, what percentage of the world is really doing that? So when it comes to why consistency is more valuable than talent or luck, talent gets you noticed. Luck gets you an opportunity. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you, consistency, it keeps you in the game for the long haul. It keeps you in the game for the long term. And it allows your lifestyle to turn into both results. Your talent starts to become something that people notice and then respect. And you can see doors open because you're talented and you're showing up properly. And if we could talk about that for just a minute. When I really sit back and think about that, consistency, to me, it builds credibility. I mean, there's people in this world that I know of that we could count on to show up rain, sleet, or snow. It doesn't matter what the scenario is. If you need them, they're going to show up. Anybody out there have friends like that? Do you have friends like that? They're going to show up. They're going to be there for you regardless. So credibility is definitely what I think consistency helps to build. People trust what they see repeatedly. Because if you're able to show up on a consistent basis, that's signaling to your peers reliability, which is much more valuable than just having raw talent, in my opinion. Hey, put that in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with that. Give me a 1 if you agree with that. And give me a 2 if you got a different suggestion. Put the words takeaway and put it in the comment and put it in the chat. I want to hear from you. We want to be able to have this conversation with you today and have you respond. However, legacy is built on rhythm. It's not on randomness. Most people think that you can just turn your camera on and start talking. But once you have the opportunity to get behind the scenes and see all the lights, the cameras, and all the editing and the taping and all the things that go on, you start to realize really quickly you need to prepare. You need to prep. You need to be ready. The best of the best, they make it look like it's just they wake up like this. But the truth is, there's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of preparation. And when I talk about building legacy, wealth, influence, and relationships all grow through consistent deposits over the term. So when if I'm wanting to be wealthy, I must desire someone else to be wealthy all the time. If I have influence, I need to be influential all the time. If I want to build relationships, I definitely know that I need to show up for those relationships that are really important to me and carve out time for those relationships. Because again, over time, you're growing that with your deposits of time. And what's the most important currency that we have, in my opinion, is time. So if you really think about it, most successful people let me rephrase that. If you really think about the most successful people that you probably admire, are they the most talented at what they do? Or are they just the most consistent at what they do? Put that in the chat. Of all the people that you admire, maybe there's an influencer, a movie star, an athlete, maybe a business owner. Of all the people you think of, why do you admire them so much? Is it because they're talented, number one, or number two, they're most consistent? Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. I want to really know and dive into what we're talking about. And secondly, part of our discussion today, we want to go ahead and jump into it. The difference between showing up and showing off. See, I think showing up is about service. Showing off is about your ego. See, one builds trust and the other one burns it. There is a difference, okay? There is a difference. When you say showing up to me, that equals presence and purpose at the same time. It means being reliable. It means delivering value. It means being available when people need you most. When it comes to posting content that educates and inspires and connects with people, that's a way of showing up. I really think that's a way of showing up. But let's talk about showing off for a second. Showing off equals performance without depth. It's about chasing attention. It's about flexing on achievements. It's about posting periodic, you get people who post once every 2 years. That's like, dude, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. The example is you're showing these flashy posts with no follow-up, no engagement, and there's no real connection. People aren't trying to hear that. You mean you've gone 365 days times 4 years to be exact, with no post, but the only post you show is a good day. There's probably nothing else going on in your life. These are things that people do recognize. So if I'm going to make an impact, if I want to make a difference, then I'm probably am wanting to start showing up, building relationships, and building my authority with my personal brand. If I want to make an impact. See, showing off creates a short-term impression, but rarely it has long-term influences. There are many people who want to do this certain thing. Maybe you want to earn 6 figures. Maybe you want to earn 7 figures. Maybe you want to have 1,000 followers. But are you putting the work in every single day? Are you putting the work in? Or are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that? Because if you really start to think about it, consistency is like a bridge. It's like the connector, right? Because when you show up consistently, people know you're dependable. It's the bridge. When you're showing off inconsistently, people see you as unreliable, self-serving, even. My question is, how do you want people to see you? Maybe you're unintentionally being recognized this way. Maybe you're being unintentional about how that looks and how that makes your personal brand show up. So are you showing up for your audience, or are you just showing off for them? Either way it goes, we have a solution for you. Either way it goes, we have a solution. And that's what we're here to talk about. That's what we're here to talk about today. So, hey, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for joining us. This Lifestyle Focus Wealth, what we talk about here every Friday at 1 o'clock, talk about what millionaires and billionaires are having conversations about. That's right. They're talking about this stuff. We're talking about this stuff. We're talking about it all the time. We're not leaving anything out. It's part of our daily lifestyle. Why? Because it's consistent. How can I consistently get an edge? How can I consistently elevate the experience for myself, my family, my business, consumers, my fans, my community, and so on and so forth? That little bit more every day. How can I do that? How can I do that effectively? How can I do that and show the world that I want to make an impact? I want to make the difference. Because I want to show up building with relationships and authority. That's what I want to do. I really do. Someone asked me, so I had this question this past week. Would you consider yourself showing off or showing up for your audience? Because I was on the road last week, I definitely said it's all about showing up. The consistency is every Friday at 1 o'clock. Rain, sleet, or snow, on an airplane, in a tornado, in a hurricane in Florida, we've shown up. And the thing is, our fans recognize that. Our fans recognize that. There's days that they may not even want to watch the show, but they're on our live. Why? Because they know that I'm here live, giving it what I got, wherever I am, and I've made that commitment to spend an hour and a half with you. And I say an hour and a half because there's many more things that go on after the cameras go off and hours before the camera goes on. So for me, that's where accountability comes in. That's what I want. I want to build legacy. And I know that you have to commit to showing up to that. There's no showing off. There's not even an opportunity for that. So I'm definitely the latter. How about you? Put that in the comments. Which one are you? You showing up? Are you showing out? For those of you who are showing up, type the word subscribe in the bottom. I subscribe. I subscribed. If you're showing up for the Lifestyle Focused Wealth community, put that down. Why I subscribed. Why? Because we want to know who's showing up. Every voice that we need is in the room. And you can't keep giving it away and people getting the secrets, right? So do me a favor. Don't forget, let's go ahead and do this. Smash that like button while you're down there. We've already asked you to subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you get all of our updated content. So you can be a part of the upcoming conversation. Because we're giving you the blueprint. We're going to give you the blueprint every single week. Why? Because we want to save you time. We want to save you time. You know, on the same topic, when we're talking about building our influence, talent or luck, you know, I've got to sit down with one or two of my clients this past week, and just yesterday, matter of fact, and we were having a conversation about their financial plan, and the gentleman would have asked me, "Hey, Ronco, you know, I got the business up." He shows me his paper flyer, and I asked him. I said, "Well, we're doing a coaching session, and our coaching sessions it combines AI and financial solutions." And in minutes, something that I watched happen. He didn't have a website. He didn't have any presence. He does good work, but again, he wasn't a business owner until now. A few questions, a few prompts. We were able to get the marketing plan to make him a six-figure marketing plan over the next 18 months. What to do daily, what to do monthly, and what he should expect from those goals annually. We were able to put his website together, a call to action, a presentation. We were able to put together 5 compelling advertisements for his company so he could put it on all social media, from TikTok to YouTube to Facebook to Instagram. Lined it all up for him. And while we were going through the fact finder, I noticed he was tearing up. Why? Because he recognized how we showed up. He stopped me in the middle of the presentation to say, "Ever since I've met you, you just keep showing up. Every time I get off track, you just keep showing up." And he thanked me for it. And you know what? That made me feel so warm inside. Why? Because he's part of our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. And we just keep showing up. Even when he feels like he doesn't know where he's going, we can always get him back on track. And it's going to be an elevation of conversation, whether it be healthcare, whether it be starting his business, creating his own family banking system. He's accomplished all these things on his own after decades of not having it. And he's thriving. So I guess it's all about framing. That's going to be my word for the word. Put the words framing in the content today. Put that in the comments today. Framing. Framing. Why? Because we just keep showing up. I know my teammates are out there. Hey, Sam, I see you, buddy. Hey, Leela, I hope you're doing well. I know you're over there in Belize. Thank you so much for hanging out. Framing. Let me explain to you. If you had a Coca-Cola can, again, a Coca-Cola can in the garage on the floor is considered garbage. Garbage. But if I took that same Coca-Cola can and put it in a white-walled museum and stood it on a white pedestal and put shining lights on top of it, it becomes art. The Coke can goes from garbage to $1 million Coke can. What changed? It's the framing. It's the framing of what you see and how other people see it. And a lot of times, when it comes to consistency, It sounds like it could be a headache or a chore to show up on time every day, to go work out every day, to walk your extra mile every day, to eat well every day, to, hey, maybe even give your husband or spouse a hug or a kiss to work every single day. But what about those people who look at it differently? And they start putting the time, the effort, and they're paying it forward every single day. They go walk every day. They eat the right meals every day. They pour into their spouse every day, no matter what. They show up at their workspace every day. How do you think the people around them see them? At the end of the day, the one thing they can say is that individual is consistent. That individual is reliable. That individual becomes more valuable than most things in the room. Not because of raw talent or chance, it's because they're consistent. It's because they've built the credibility based on action, not arrogance. And the results will always show through. They will. It's almost like production. It's almost like production. If I go out and score 44 points today, and then I go out and score 2 points tomorrow, yes, I might have had a good game, but it's possible that I might not score that ever again. But if I'm consistently giving you 35, 44 is not impossible. The likelihood of me scoring 2 becomes unlikely. Am I making sense? Am I making sense to you? Hopefully this is going to help somebody today, because our goal is to help you save time. Because if we understand what the problem is, now we just got to find a solution. Where do we need to go? Well, Lifestyle Focused Wealth and me, your coach, L.R. Johnson and Associates, the Ronco Johnson Foundation, our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community, we have the answer for you. We really do. We have the answer for you, and we want to share it with you. But guess what? You got to show some commitment on your end and join the community. Come on in. Join the community. Come to our coaching classes. Become part of our mastermind. Come to one of our workshops. Pour into yourself. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. If you're in sales, for those people who are out there in sales, how many of you follow up with your leads? How many people follow up? Maybe you got follow-up fatigue when your leads go cold. Maybe you have relationship drift where you've forgotten to call clients or your partners, or the accountability slippage that happens when your goals you have goals without retraction. Is that one of your problems? Do you have that issue? That's what we call problem awareness. Because if we're able to break down your consistency boundaries in our conversations, we have a deep conversation about that. If we're able to break down that, whatever that thing is that causes you to lack consistency, reshape it, reframe it, reset your brain and mindset. So now that it's been reshaped, it becomes important. And it becomes a must-have, not a I want to. What would your life look like? Would it be different? Would it be different? I'm going to tell you, there's a ripple effect that happens. There's a total ripple effect. And I'm probably talking to somebody right now, And they're going to say, that's me. But you wouldn't stand up in a crowd and tell everybody. But the ripple effect of inconsistency is just this: how missed opportunities compound over time. You know, if you're old enough, you probably remember the first time you heard about the internet. Did you invest in it? The first time you heard about Bitcoin, did you jump in it? The first time you heard about NVIDIA, did you jump on that? The first time that you heard about AI, have you jumped on it? Let me ask you, how many missed opportunities have you had over the decades, over the years, that have come back to compound over time, but not in your favor? So many times in your past that you've misread the landscape that you decided, not this time. Whatever's happening, I'm jumping on it this time. I've already seen that happen. I've seen that grow. I watched this family grow. I watched my teammate grow. I watched their businesses grow, and I'm still thinking about it. If that's you, be careful. The ripple effect is real. But it's a ripple effect of inconsistency that you're having a challenge with. Why inconsistency erodes trust? Why does it erode trust and credibility? It's because 10 years later, you're still thinking about it. And everybody around you knows that you're still thinking about it. You know, it wouldn't make any difference if you're just moving 1 or 2 steps further along, because you're not thinking about it, you're walking in it. The ripple effect, opposite of inconsistency, is think about the ripple effect of you showing up every day. Think about the ripple effect of you deciding, I don't want any more low frequency minded people in my circle. I need to just make myself unavailable to those who are not thinking on the same wavelength, who don't have the same inspirations, who don't have the mindset to feed into themselves. I want to be in the room where everyone is exceptional. What would happen to you in the next 60 days, 90 days, 365 days? It's all about the legacy mindset. And you have to understand, your legacy is being created right now, whether you like it or not. But you have control of that. If you're still thinking about it, you're probably unconsciously unaware of what your legacy looks like at this moment. But if you've really put time into it, if you've been intentional with every step, if you've been frugal with your money and put it in certain places, nothing someone's going to be able to tell you is going to take you off your game, because you know exactly where you want to go. You have the sacrifice and the time in place. You're strategic with all your moves, and you're consistently showing up every day. And because of that, your legacy mindset is different than other people, because consistency becomes the foundation of your wealth and of your influence. So when you think about stories of leaders who built empires, they did that through daily discipline. You have to work your mind. You have to work your body. You know, one of the things I can say in one of my personal development groups, the one thing for men, I can say this for men. I know women, you guys do it all the time, but especially for men. And if you're single and you're over 50 and you got the beer belly going and the dad body, listen, people don't take you seriously. You might be very good at what you do, but if you don't look like it, they don't take you seriously. What happens when you start taking yourself much more seriously? What happens when you start changing your wardrobe? A lot of people don't change their wardrobe because they think it's too expensive. But again, that's just a perception. You know, I can show you where I can put my links in my bios where you can go online and buy from my store or go to different links and see that there's absolutely places you can go to have a custom look for very little out of your pocket. But just by changing the clothing and updating your style from time to time, maybe a new hairdo, maybe get your nails done. Fellas, get your nails done. Get your feet done. Get your skincare done. Try it. You might be surprised at who you find that's really paying attention to these things. You don't know that you're being watched. You don't know that your legacy is leading you. You don't know these things until people start to recognize the changes. And once they start to recognize the changes, believe me, they're quick and first to comment. Hey, that's a nice suit. Man, you're looking younger every day. Sister, I love that yellow on your brown skin. Your teeth are whiter. You look like you've lost some weight. All these things start to come out when you're consistent. When you're consistent and you start to be mindful of what you're doing and you start taking daily responsibility, the stories that leaders have will start becoming your stories. They will just start becoming your story. See, if you don't believe me, give me a shot. This is where we call you to action and saying, look, join me for the next 30 days in accountability challenge. It's very simple. Let's start talking about rebranding your personal brand today. It's a decision. It's not a, well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. It's none of that. The average person has 33,000 days of living, approximately 82 to 83 years of life. At this point in my life, I've lived 18,000 of that 33,000 days. I have about 11,000 more days left. The only downside about having 11,000 days left is there's a possibility that I don't get to use them all. So if today was the last day of my life, how would I want people to see me? Would I want them to be able to say, hey, he was dependable. He was consistent. He had work ethic. He wasn't undefeated, but he didn't lose often. Or will it be something more negative? See, if you don't like where your resume is today, make a choice. Make a choice. Put your foot in the sand and then start thinking about this 30-day challenge. Hold yourself accountable for absolutely changing who you're going to be influenced by, changing what you watch in the news, changing what you're listening to in music, changing the philosophy of your life. Start walking to a different drum. Start taking better care of your health, your fitness, your mind, your money, your people around you, your spouse, your friends, your family. Rebrand your personal brand in the next 30 days and see where it takes you. If you like what I'm saying, put down in the comments, I like. Put down in the comments, I like. If you're going to rebrand yourself, if you think you want to rebrand yourself, go ahead and put down there, rebrand. Rebrand. Because in the next 30 days, we got 30 more days, a little bit more than 30 days until we get to the end of the year. 2025 is almost over. So why not start now? Getting a head start. Don't wait till January 1st to start writing down your action plan and putting pictures on a cardboard box and sticking it on a wall, and then you never look at it again. Let's start making this part of our lifestyle. Let's focus on our lifestyle change. Let's focus on being consistent. Let's focus on showing up. Let's focus on elevation. Let's show some people that our lives can be significant by helping other people get where they want to go in the next 30 days. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture. Hey, if you're out today, why don't you buy someone else lunch? Someone that doesn't know you. someone that's probably struggling. If you see somebody pumping gas, buy somebody some gas. If you've never done it before, try it. See how it feels. It's interesting. You start feeling different. And nobody needs to know it. You know it. And then once you start to have that feeling, consistently chase that feeling. And if you can consistently chase that feeling, you're going to be helping people over and over and over and over again. And you start celebrating the wins, and you start detaching from the material items. The better we get with money and understanding money is just a material item. Freedom comes from having a wealth mindset. Freedom becomes when we understand we all have the ability to have more leverage than what we're using right now. But we need to be consistently talking to people who have experience in that, who can help us navigate those waters. And once again, this is why I think having a coach, it really matters. Hey, when we return, we'll follow this up of some more talking points about consistency and why breaking it down might be the lifestyle change that sets you apart from here on out. I'll see you when we get back. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Membership's starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com. Hey, it's Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focused Wealth Coach. Thank you for joining us. We're here talking about consistency and how it changes your lifestyle. And some things you may want to consider. Because if we're talking about sales accountability, if we're talking about relationships, I want you to imagine your phone with unread notifications, a CRM system on your dashboard showing 0 follow-ups. See, your leads don't die. Those people were rejected and neglected. So if you're not getting the callbacks that you consistently want, are you being consistent in pursuing those individuals? We can consistently teach you how to close those gaps. Tap into our community, the Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. We can help you tap in. We can help you tap in right away. Are you having trouble with your content? If you're having troubles with your content and you're watching what we're talking about today, I want you to imagine your desk is cluttered, right? It's cluttered with unfinished notes and a laptop that's open and the phone's just buzzing. And then you got this caption that reads above, posting once, then disappearing for weeks. Your audience notices that. I know for myself, I can't even get away for a day. Even when I tell people I'm going on vacation or I'm going for my daughter, I will get personal phone calls about where you going, where you been, why you're not in the audience, why you're not in the studio, why you're not wearing your white shirt or your suit that everybody knows you for. Well, my brand had to expand. I had to be recognized for more than just one outfit. Why? Because I am a multi-faceted individual. And being online, I want you to see more and more of who Ronco Johnson really is all about. My personal brand is much bigger than the guy who sells insurance or the guy who owned a basketball team or the guy that was an executive producer for jazz artists. It's much bigger than that. This depends on how you see me, your perception. Instead, of me worrying about the perception that you recognize me in. I want to be able to walk in all those lanes authentically at the same time, unapologetically, right? I want you to think about it like this. If you're having relationship issues right now, can you imagine an empty cup on a chair across from a full cup of coffee? Did you think about that for a second? An empty cup and an empty coffee shop across from a full cup of coffee in a coffee shop. Relationships fade when you stop showing up. RJ can show you how to rebuild your trust. Our lifestyle focused wealth community can help you learn how to rebuild that trust. We're going to help you with your brand confusion as well. If you're having brand confusion and you don't really know, if you can also imagine a collage of mismatched logos and colors and fonts, hey man, we can help you. We'll have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Book your one-on-one. Why? Because missed and mixed messages equals lost authority. No one knows what you're an expert at. You might be a master of jumping around from one project to another in two unseemingly connected industries instead of repositioning your personal brand to incorporate those two industries. I was having a conversation with one of our teammates about the possibility of taking on one job versus another job. He's been known for this job, but he's been getting results from this job. He says he's thinking about leasing that job A. So he's an independent entrepreneur. There are going to be times that job B doesn't pay when job A does. And job A doesn't pay when job B does. But wouldn't it be nice if you just open up your mind to say, I could put job A and B in a section of the mall called me, and they're both consistently open? And then I let my audience that comes into my store decide if they want A, B, or both. It's much easier for me to open up one door than to try to close one, open one, give energy to them. So that's what I'm saying earlier. When you give mixed messages, that equals lost authority. Here's your call to action for today. If that's you, we have a solution for that. We can help rebrand you in 30 days. We can help you restructure your mindset in the next 30 days. Question is, are you ready for that? Are you willing to sacrifice for that? Not everybody's willing to do that. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to go online and join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. It's only $16 a month, but the price is going up. You better get in while you can. You better get in while you can, because at the top of the year, all the stuff that we have is rolling out. And I'm telling you, it's going to be exciting. You'll wish that you were already grandfathered in at the $16 level, because it won't be $16 ever again. I would just go ahead and tell you, after 3 years at the $16 level, it's time to shut that door. That door is getting ready to close. We have been consistent for free, and we have been consistent for low fees. Today, we're going to be moving towards being consistent, dealing with high-end thought leaders who understand that building wealth comes fast. Speed comes with building wealth. As our friend Alicia says, at the speed of AI. Don't believe me, give it a try. Don't believe me, give me a try. Because I know there's somebody out there, we're going to change their life. We've already made the impact. We've already made the impact, and we already have the solutions. We've been doing it for a while. So I just want to say this. If you're tired of sitting on the fence and you're not happy with where you are today, are you being consistently not participating? I'm going to share with you this. Make your last 11,000 days worth it. Every single day. The journey is real. I think as we get older, we start understanding we need to focus less on the destination and more on the journey. I don't need to wait until I get to Florida to enjoy myself. I need to learn how to enjoy myself on the ride there. There's a lot of stops. There's a lot of opportunities for relationships. There's a lot of opportunities for me to lay the foundation of my legacy and help people along the way. So whether you're an entrepreneur, a creator, a thought leader, let's have a conversation. This conversation will challenge you to rethink how you're showing up daily. Get our bullet points, get our checklist, go to the back of at the end of our podcast, go get the download, our consistency checklist, join our 30-day accountability challenge, and start rebranding your personal brand today. And then elevate your influence and tell the world about it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Put that in the chat before we leave. I just want to say thank you guys for coming in and joining us. I know we had a lot of talking points today. I didn't get to everybody that was live, but we are here every Friday, every Lifestyle Focus Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. And you can catch the playbacks throughout the weeks. But please, please, please subscribe, share, tell a friend, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because we want to make sure that you're in the room and everybody else that is just like you. They're influencers. We need to make sure that we're able to elevate everybody in our kingdom. And I'm thankful for you being a part. I'm grateful for you sharing your time, and I am looking forward to seeing you next week at the top. Have a good week. God bless, and I'll see you next time.